Hi, welcome back to Growth Catalyst Hub. Today we are going to talk about one of the most important topics when it comes to career. How do we set and define clear and achievable career goals? A lot of people feel stuck in their careers simply because they don't clarify where they want to go. They don't have long-term vision. They're not very clear about where they want to land, and therefore they don't know which path to take. Today, end of this session, hopefully you will have a clear roadmap of how do you create that path for you? How do you define your career goals? How can you tell yourself where you want to land? What are the things that you need to consider to get there? That's what we are going to do today. Let's jump in. Let's dive in. Let's start with a fun analogy. I'm sure a lot of you would have read Alice in Wonderland. It's a lovely story by Lewis Carroll. There, in one of the scenes, Alice asks the Cheshire cat which path she should take. So, which path should I take? Cat, tell me. So the Cheshire cat asks her, no, first tell me where do you want to go? Then I'll tell you which path. Alice thinks for a second and then says, I don't care where I want to go. The cat tells her, if you don't really care where you want to go, then it doesn't really matter which path you take. It's a very interesting story because it so very well resonates with a lot of things that we do in our life. If you're not very clear about our objective, we can't really take steps. If you're not very clear about which is our destination, which state, which center, which is our end point, we can't really decide on what kind of travel that we need to take, which flight we need to take, which car we need to take, which path we need to take. If the purpose is not clear, if the objective is not clear, it is pretty much difficult to define the steps and the path that you need to take because you don't know where you want to end up to start with. So how do we decide what are the things that we need to take into account to decide as to where that we want to go? That is a clarity that we first need. Once we have that clarity, which is a career overall long-term career vision, when we have that clarity, a lot of things fall in place, a lot of things can be considered. But what are the things that you need to take into account, factor in to decide on that clarity? That is what we are going to look at in this episode today. Let's dive in further. The very first thing that you need to do is to take stock of where you are. Suppose you walk into a mall, you will see a board saying where you are. Because that's very important because that tells you, okay, this is a place you are in, and relative to that place, where is the first floor, where is a particular shop, where is another particular shop, and so on and so forth. So it's very, very important to take stock of your current situation, your current status. And how do you do that? You basically evaluate and take stock of all your skill sets. What are you good at? You take stock of your strengths. What are you naturally good at? What is your natural inclination? And you also take stock of your values. You take stock of your passions. You look at what you want to do in life. You also look at what are your overall objectives and what are you good at? What are your skills? What are your strengths? And by strength, what I mean is what are you naturally good at? Are you naturally good at words? Are you naturally good at numbers? Are you an extroverted person, happy to meet people, happy in a party, or an introverted person, happy with a book on hand, happy thinking about things, happy solving problems all by themselves? A lot of these things are very important to take stock because all of this will guide you towards where you want to go. One of the things that I realized by the time that I hit my third year in engineering was that I'm not cut out for engineering. That realization thankfully came very clearly, loud and clear. I decided that I would rather be in a marketing kind of a place within a company, and I would rather be using my number skills within that. And therefore, when I looked at what I needed to do, I decided that I would rather do an MBA. And in that MBA, I would rather do specialization of marketing and market research. This is exactly what I did. And my life turned out pretty decent overall. So it's very important to look at what you are good at, what your skills are, what your strengths are, and what your long-term whatever ambitions and passions that you bring to the table, so that all of this together can guide you in terms of which path, which long-term decision, destination that you need to take. Think about it. Take a pen and paper, note down your skills, note down your strengths, note down your natural inclination, note down your ambition, note down your dreams. All of this will help you to get there. Please pause the video for a minute and please jot it down before going to next segment. How do you think about your long-term destination? 2-3 ways of doing it. One, what have you dreamt of being from your childhood? When we are children, easily talk about what they want to be. One day they want to be pilots, another day they want to be mechanics, another day they want to be something else, and so on and so forth. But a lot of this grows, evolves as the children grow up. As a child, what were your dreams? As you evolved, as you grew up, what were the things that you always wanted to do? What are the kind of professions? What are the kind of careers? What are the kind of people who always had an impact on you? Have you always told yourself that I want to be like this person? And what kind of people have they been? And what kind of professions, what kind of careers based on these imaginations and ambitions and passions that you would rather do than anything else? That's one way of looking at it. Second way of looking at it, if you are already in a career, if you're already in a job or your first job or a second job or a third job, what is it that you dream of being 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? Who are the people that you admire in your current company? What position do they hold? And if you want to emulate them, how long is it going to take? Let's say if you want to spend 5 years in this industry that you are in, 10 years in this industry that you are in, where will you reach up? Where you want to reach up? That's another way of looking at it. Now, again, pause, take a pen and paper, think about it in terms of what your dreams have been and whom you admire 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, what you want to be. Please jot it down so that we can get into next set of parameters that you need to factor in. Once you've done this, once you've looked at your long-term vision, once you've taken care of where you are currently, your current status, looked at an inventory of your skills, strengths, natural inclinations, passions, ambitions. Once you have also considered 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, where you would rather be, then two things are very clear. Here, you are here, you want to be here. And the distance between these 2 points is where you need to traverse. But you cannot traverse in a single day. You cannot traverse just because you wish to traverse. So you need to start with step by step breaking this journey of 5 years, 10 years into manageable, smaller steps. How do you do that? I'll give an example. One of my students wanted to be in digital marketing. She was in a tech side, she was in software, but she wanted to move into digital marketing because she realized that she had passion for marketing. She had passion to talk to people. She had passion to understand complex problems. She also had passion in terms of product and a lot more than the technology, improving the product, delivering a solution to people. So looking at her own strengths, she decided that she would rather be in digital marketing than in the tech side of the business. But that was the dream. That is where she wished to be. So what did she do? I want to reach into digital marketing space. And therefore, what are the skills do I have? What are the skills do I need? So she decided that she needed a lot of skills. She needed to upgrade herself. So as a first step, she enrolled into some of the digital marketing courses. She started learning. She also volunteered for some of the projects in her own company, which were partially digital marketing basis. She volunteered, took extra effort. She was part of some of those projects where she learned and gained invaluable experience. And combining what she was learning online and the project that she was doing in real time in her own company, she understood what the digital marketing is and what kind of skill sets that she would be able to bring to play in that space. And gaining that experience, learning that from the online, combining all of that, she one day finally moved on from current company and found a fantastic position for herself. All of this did not happen in a day. She carefully considered what she is capable of. She carefully considered what she needed to learn. She also ensured that she got the practical experience that she needed before deciding to move on to find the place, moving on to apply for a digital marketing position. So coming back to learnings from this example, applying to yourself, what are the skill sets that you currently have? What are the skill sets that this position 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line that you want to be needs to have? What are the strengths you currently have? What are the strengths that you need to develop over a period of time to be this person that you admire, to be this position that you are coveting for? This planning is what I call as breaking it down into small, munchable, eatable steps. Do that. So look at what skills you need to acquire, how long it is going to take, where can you get those skills, maybe by online learning, maybe by courses from Coursera or Udemy and then so on, Skillshare and so on and so forth. Maybe by apprenticing in some place, maybe by volunteering for some project like what my student did, maybe by combination of all of this, so that you are very sure of the path that you are taking, you are very sure of the skills that you are gaining, and you can go get where you want to go in the time span that you are planning for yourself. I'm going to give you a real life example. Let's see what that example is, and let's see what we can learn from that example. I'm going to talk about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India. I'm sure you know what kind of a humble background he came from. He was born in a very poor family in Rameshwaram. He was assisting in his younger age, in his school-going age, he was helping his family distribute newspapers. And the family was so poor that Abdul Kalam has to do all of this to even go to school. But he did not let any of this deter his ambition. He aspired to be a scientist. He was interested in science, and he did not let even for a moment his background, his family background, his poor background deter his ambitions. He was very, very clear and bold in his vision that I am going to be a scientist one day. He went to Madras Institute of Technology, did his aerospace engineering from there. He joined ISRO from there, and we all know what happened later. The missile man of India, the greatest president of India, one of the greatest teachers that we have ever seen, and a person who personified simplicity throughout his life and inspired so many youngsters in his life and even now. The point, the learning that we need to take from Dr. APJ's story is very simple. Don't allow your current circumstances to deter your ambition. Don't allow your current background, current situation, current status to come and impact your passions and your dreams. Dream big, keep it bold, have a bold vision, and find a way. And life evolves in a way that it will give you those possible paths. You will find them. You need to have the confidence that I am going to find this path sometime or the other. If not today, tomorrow I'll find that path. If not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm going to find that path. And today, whatever challenges I'm going to go through, today, whatever challenges, whatever problems I'm seeing are temporary. I will find a solution for all that. That is the power of will that Dr. APJ possessed. And that is a learning that all of us who are looking at how do I set my career path, how do I set my career goals, which is the topic of today's session, have to have. So quickly summarizing this session. 1, assess your current situation. Where are you now? What are your skill sets? What do you bring to the table? Look at your long-term goals. Where do you want to be 10 years down the line? What career interests you and why? What kind of a work inspires you and why? Look at that and look at where you would rather be 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Number 3, break from where you are to that long-term vision, break that distance into manageable, small, smart goals. Look at what is a skill that you need to acquire. Look at what is it that you need to strengthen about yourself. Look at what are the things that you need to learn along the way. What are the habits that you need to inculcate along the way. Look at how people have done in your industry and outside. For all of this, have a plan of action in terms of breaking this journey, which could be 5 years, which could be 10 years, into small, manageable weekly tasks and daily tasks. Then the journey becomes very, very visible to you. Then it is easy to look at, okay, I'm progressing, I've done this, I need to take a little slight detour, I need to do this, I need to do that. All of that becomes very clear and visible when you break down your path into small, manageable steps. Most of all, take action. Listening to this, but not taking action is not going to help you. Thinking about something, but not taking action is not going to help you. Dreaming about something, but not taking action is not going to help you. So take action today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect day. It never exists. Perfection is enemy of action. If you wait for perfection, action never happens. So start today, start small, but start today. Look at what you need to do. I'm sure you would have noted down as we spoke in terms of your current, your vision, and the breaking down of small steps. You would have done all that. If you have not done already, please start doing it now. And based on that, start with one small step today. That will push you into that path. That will also give you momentum. That will give you satisfaction. That will give you confidence that I can actually do this. All the very best. See you in our next episode. I'm sure you would like and subscribe to the channel.